And now for a Next News special report.
Welcome to this special report. I'm Gary Franchi. Representative Matt Gaetz has sent shockwaves throughout the Capitol, making a direct play against House Speaker Kevin McCarthy with allegations of backroom dealings and secret pacts related to Ukraine. McCarthy's position is under intense scrutiny. And here's the kicker. Even President Biden has weighed in on the drama. Everyone's asking, is the GOP leadership about to see a seismic shift? The story isn't just about the clash of two political titans. It's about the very direction of our great republic. As we dive into the details, stay with me till the very end. You don't want to miss my final thought on why this story is critical for every single American. You know, folks, when they say politics is unpredictable, they weren't kidding. Just recently, Representative Matt Gaetz took to the House floor in an audacious move, launched formal proceedings to remove none other than the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. And Gaetz isn't one to pull punches. He cited concerns over McCarthy's leadership style, pointing to multiple missteps, including excessive spending and what he sees as hasty legislative approaches. But what's got everyone talking? Well, Gaetz is crying foul over McCarthy's alleged backroom dealings with President Biden regarding Ukraine. It's a hefty claim, and one that split opinions across the board. And guess what? We have a clip showcasing Gaetz in action. Watch.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida now seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House.
The gentleman will state the form of his resolution.
Declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. Resolved that the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives is hereby declared to be vacant.
Did you catch that? Gaetz is holding nothing back, declaring the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. That's a loaded statement. Now here's something more intriguing. The vote on Gaetz' motion is set to happen within 2 legislative days after proper notification. After his floor address, Gaetz didn't shy away from the media. Instead, he doubled down on his challenge. He believes he has garnered enough Republican backing that should see McCarthy either dethroned or, get this, supported by the Democrats. Now, the good folks at home might be wondering, what's really at the heart of Gaetz' discontent? Well, it seems he's particularly frustrated with how Washington operates, especially when it comes to budgetary and spending practices. He's an advocate for transparency and wants single-issue spending bills, a commendable stance, if I might say. And there's another name thrown into the mix, Representative Steve Scalise. Gaetz has highlighted Scalise as a prime candidate for the Speaker's chair should McCarthy be ousted. Amidst all this, Gaetz remains adamant his issue with McCarthy, it's policy, not personal. And in one powerful statement, Gaetz made his position crystal clear, and we have it for you right here. Watch.
If there's a deal made with Democrats, the only deal is to make one with McCarthy, because I'm not offering anything and won't offer anything. And by the way, if the Democrats want to own Kevin McCarthy, they can have it. Because one thing I'm at peace with is when we stand here a week from now, I won't own Kevin McCarthy anymore. He won't belong to me. So if the Democrats want to adopt him, they can adopt him.
If the Democrats want to own Kevin McCarthy, they can have it. Powerful words. Gaetz seems to be washing his hands of McCarthy entirely. But wait, there's more. Gaetz didn't stop at verbal statements. He took to Twitter challenging McCarthy about a secret side deal with President Biden on Ukraine. Now, that's a burning question, and one that could sway the outcome of the motion to vacate. Watch.
I rise to raise a question. What was the secret side deal on Ukraine? House Democrats and President Biden have said that as Speaker McCarthy was asking Republicans to vote for a continuing resolution so as to avoid having to take the Senate's plus up in Ukraine money, that the Speaker of the House was actually cutting a side deal to bring Ukraine legislation to this floor with President Biden and House Democrats. So let me get this straight. To extend Joe Biden's spending and Joe Biden's policy priorities, the Speaker of the House gave away to Joe Biden the money for Ukraine that Joe Biden wanted. It is going to be difficult for my Republican friends to keep calling President Biden feeble while he continues to take Speaker McCarthy's lunch money in every negotiation. The Speaker of the House has responded to these reports of a secret side deal on money for Ukraine, opaquely stating that he still wants to fund Ukraine and our border. I have a few replies to this statement. First, the Speaker's statement confirms the existence of a secret deal. And I've talked to members of our own leadership who have said they didn't even know that Speaker McCarthy was negotiating a secret side deal outside of our conference, outside of his own leadership team, for the sake of Ukraine. Second, Ukraine has lost the support of a majority of the majority. The last time there was a freestanding Ukraine vote on this floor, it was last week. 101 Republicans voted for it, 117 Republicans voted against it. According to the Hastert rule, which Speaker McCarthy agreed to in January, you cannot use Democrats to roll a majority of the majority, certainly on something as consequential as Ukraine. So for all the crocodile tears about what may happen later this week about a motion to vacate, working with the Democrats is a yellow brick road that has been paved by Speaker McCarthy, whether it was the debt limit deal, the CR, or now the secret deal on Ukraine. Third, this is swampy log rolling. The American people deserve single subject bills. I get that a lot of folks might disagree with my perspectives on the border or on Ukraine, but can we at least agree that no matter how you feel about Ukraine or the southern border, they each deserve the dignity of their own consideration and should not be rolled together where they might pass where each individually wouldn't? This is what we're trying to get away from. This is the spirit of the January agreement we made with the Speaker. No more lashing these disparate issues together so that the American people's interests are subjugated here on the floor of the House. You know how we should stand up for our border? Demand that the United States Senate take up our single subject appropriation bill that funded the border. It created Republican unity. We voted for it. It has the policy demands that the continuing resolution that Speaker McCarthy advocated for on this floor did not. Our DHS funding bill requires E-Verify. And then hours later, after we passed that, the Speaker wanted us to vote for a continuing resolution that didn't include E-Verify. Retreat is never a strategy to win anything. So, Mr. Speaker, just tell us. Just tell us. What was in the secret Ukraine side deal? What commitments were made to President Biden to continue the spending of President Biden in exchange for doing things for President Biden? It is becoming increasingly clear who the Speaker of the House already works for, and it's not the Republican conference. Mr. Speaker, I would ask that these questions be answered soon, because there may be other votes coming today or later this week that could be implicated by the answers to these questions. Members of the Republican Party might vote differently on a motion to vacate if they heard what the Speaker had to share with us about his secret side deal with Joe Biden on Ukraine. I'll be listening. Stay tuned. And I yield back.
And for those doubting the veracity of these claims, President Biden himself, in almost unprecedented move, confirmed the deal. And here's the tweet, right there, in black and white. While the majority of Congress has been steadfast in their support for Ukraine, the bipartisan bill has no funding to continue it. We can't allow this to be interrupted. I expect the Speaker to keep his word and secure the passage of support for Ukraine at this critical moment. What was that word that was promised, right? There's no mincing words here. Biden expects McCarthy to keep his word on supporting Ukraine. What's curious, however, is why McCarthy's promise to Biden remains shrouded in secrecy. It's a matter of international significance, so why the hush-hush? Now, at this juncture, it's essential to hear the other side. McCarthy hasn't remained silent amidst this political maelstrom. In response to questions about the potential ouster of the Speaker, he emphasized that Congress's positive achievements under his leadership. And it's just like our current situation, We're facing unpredictable scenarios every day, whether it's political upheavals, natural crisis, or economic downturns. That's why folks need to be prepared. And speaking of preparation, My Patriot Supply is offering a rare 25% discount on the 3-month emergency food kit. It's essential to be prepared for unforeseen circumstances, ensuring your family's safety. And with this limited time offer, now is the time to act, secure your peace of mind, and visit preparewithgary.com to grab that 25% discount. Now, getting back to the issue at hand, let's take a look at McCarthy's response to the challenges that he's facing. Watch.
Mr. Speaker, if you lose this vote, will you continue?
You start with the negative here. Let's be positive. The government is open. Last week you all asked me about was government going to be closed. No, government is open. Congress is back in session. We've already passed 74% of the discretionary spending for the appropriations we need to. The Senate has done 0. We're passing 2 more appropriation bills hopefully this week. That's what we're working on. And we're continuing to do our job.
Yeah, but now there's possibly a vote to vacate. There would need 5 Republicans, if all Democrats to vote to kick you out. If you're ejected as Speaker, would you put yourself up for Speaker again?
You always count me out, right?
I'm just asking you the possibility.
And I'm just telling you the same thing I tell you every time. I never give up. I think that's destructive to the institution. I think it's destructive to the country. And my focus is surely only on getting our work done. Secure our border, eliminate our wasteful spending, eliminate inflation, and make sure our streets are safer. That's our key place of what we're working on.
You'll lose more than 5 votes.
Have you spoken to any Democrats about?
I haven't spoken to any Democrats.
Will you speak to Democrats?
Wow. Wow. McCarthy remains optimistic and focused on the tasks ahead, but with such formidable opposition from within his party, how long can he maintain the posture? The House is polarized with accusations and defenses flying. Gaetz' critiques have found both backers and naysayers. However, the core of the contention lies in Gaetz' claims over McCarthy's covert dealings with Biden on Ukraine. The fate of the speakership teeters, and the nation's eyes are firmly fixed on those unfolding in the events on Capitol Hill. This story isn't just about Gaetz or McCarthy, it's about the very foundation of our republic and how our representatives choose to steer its course. My fellow Americans, tonight's developments underline the deep fissures within our political landscape. What transpires on Capitol Hill doesn't just stay there. It reverberates throughout our republic. As Gaetz challenges McCarthy, this isn't just a GOP issue. It's an American issue. This story highlights the need for transparency, accountability, and most importantly, integrity in our leadership. As this saga unfolds, we must ask ourselves, what kind of republic do we want? One of backroom deals and shrouded pacts, or one of transparency where our leaders are held accountable? This isn't just about the position of a House Speaker, it's about the very ethos of our nation. Always remember, our leaders represent us. Their choices, their actions are a reflection of our values. Let's hope our representatives remember that when they decide the course of our nation's future. Stay vigilant and stay informed. Good night, America.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.